This news reports second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell urges more stimulus relief from Congress. According to the New York Post, Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said Wednesday that the U.S. economy urgently needs more relief from Congress. Democratic and Republican leaders are wrangling over details for stimulus legislation ahead of a Friday government funding deadline. Powell said following a Federal Reserve meeting that the case for fiscal policy right now is very strong. It would be bad to see people losing their business, their life's work, even generations worth of work. Powell said now was not a time for budget hawks to fret about the national debt. According to the New York Post, additional stimulus checks of between $500 and $1,200 are anticipated as part of stimulus legislation. In addition to boosted unemployment pay, more small business loans, and funds for healthcare and other government response efforts. Business Insider, top Democrats erupt with criticism over the possible inclusion of $600 stimulus checks at the expense of unemployment insurance in the next stimulus package. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Ron Wyden and Mark Warner all criticized the apparent trade-off of funding for unemployment insurance to cover the cost of $600 stimulus checks. Ocasio-Cortez tweeted, "The fact that Republicans are forcing Democrats to choose between stimulus money or unemployment benefits as if we couldn't easily do both is barbaric." Many Democrats supported including both $1,200 direct payments as well as an extension of federal unemployment benefits. Everybody tell me in the comments down below, do you think that Congress should pass more stimulus checks? My message to our politicians is to put the political games aside. Prioritize helping the American people and pass more stimulus relief. If you agree with my message, leave a comment down below saying I agree. And before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel, click the bell, and let's get this video to 5,000 likes.
Acted to give direct assistance to working people in need as part of COVID relief. And I said then, and I say it again today, that working people should be first in line for COVID relief, not last. They should be the first consideration, not some afterthought. And I'm pleased to report that we're told today negotiations are ongoing about a COVID relief bill. We're told that direct assistance to working people and working families is in the bill. That working people will be getting assistance. And I want to say once again here on this floor, as that package continues to take shape, how important it is that working families be able to count on some relief, and how important it is for this body to prioritize working people over government, over big businesses, over government programs, but to give assistance directly to the people themselves. Look, people know how to spend their money and what's best for their own families. The quickest way to help people in need is to give them direct assistance and let them make the choices for their own family.
So who knows, folks, maybe our politicians in Congress might be able to unite and pass more stimulus relief. According to Business Insider, several top Democrats on Wednesday assailed the emerging outlines of a $900 billion emergency rescue package that's still being drafted by congressional leaders in both parties. Representative Ocasio-Cortez fiercely criticized the apparent trade-off to include a round of $600 stimulus checks at the expense of funding for enhanced unemployment insurance. She called it inhumane. The fact that Republicans are forcing Dems to choose between stimulus money or unemployment benefits, as if we couldn't easily do both, is barbaric. That's what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez tweeted out today. Do they know that people in red states are hungry too? Or do they just not care? Everybody tell me in the comments down below. Do you think that our politicians will pass $1,200 stimulus payments in the next stimulus bill? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no.
Bureaucrat, but to be able to make their own choices direct, with assistance that comes direct to them. That's going to be in this bill, I understand, and I'm sure as heck going to continue to fight to see that it is in the bill and that any relief that's passed by the Senate prioritizes working people with direct relief. Now, some have questioned whether this is really necessary. Some have said, well, it's not an emergency, and this bill is only for emergencies, and direct assistance isn't an emergency. To which I say, is it not an emergency that working people are having to line up for food, literally line up for food in this country, in this day and age, because they don't have enough money to go purchase nutrition for their own children? I mean, just think about what's happening in my own state. Let me tell you about Monarch Baptist Church in Neosho, Missouri. That's down in southwest Missouri. Now, at Monarch Baptist Church in Neosho, they had a food distribution program, and they've done this for years, by the way. But as COVID intensified this past year, they stood up their efforts.
Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon also tweeted, "The notion that Congress can't give Americans direct checks and unemployment benefits is a lie. We know that because 10 months ago, Congress provided workers with both. This is a cruel, last-ditch effort by Senate Republicans to scale back real aid for families." And Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, who is part of the bipartisan group that kickstarted relief talks, said he didn't think the step was progressive at all. He told Yahoo Finance, "I don't think there's very much progressive about the idea. The rising criticism of the negotiations comes as congressional leaders are rushing to strike a deal on a pandemic aid package, and then get both chambers of Congress to approve it by midnight."
These are working people, Madam President. These are not folks who want some handout. These are working people. These are proud people. These are people who don't want government to do stuff for them. They want to be able to get back up on their own feet and provide for themselves. And government shut down their businesses and took away their jobs this past year and put them in this position of, in some cases, outright desperation. Let me tell you about a gal from Kansas City, 22 years old. Her first name is Mars. I won't share her last name just for her own privacy. But you know, she's talked to me, told about her plight. She moved to Kansas City earlier this year, right around the time the pandemic started, got an apartment, was getting set up, getting going, then the pandemic hit. Then the shutdown hit. Then she lost her job. Then she lost her plumbing. Her water wouldn't work. She complained to the landlord. They wouldn't do anything. Then the ceiling collapsed. Landlord still wouldn't do anything. Then she didn't have enough money to make rent. And the other day she woke up with a 10-day eviction notice out on her front door. These are people who need help. Not because they don't know how to work, but because they do know how to work. And the government has put them in the position that they're facing today. This pandemic has put them in the position they're facing today. And what they want is the ability to get back up on their own 2 feet and provide for themselves by the work of their own hands. And that is what direct assistance to working families will do. So to those who say it's not an emergency, I urge you to open your eyes and to look around at the people who are hurting, who are struggling, who are desperate for help. I've heard that it said that, well, it's not stimulative. What a word. Direct assistance isn't stimulative. As if the American people are knobs and dials to be twisted and turned around to get a desired outcome. As if the economy is something to be micromanaged from Washington, D.C. I'm not interested in stimulus. I'm interested in helping working people survive. I'm not interested in micromanaging this economy. I'm interested in getting working people back up on their feet so they can manage their own lives.
With that being said, everybody, that is all the news in regards to our second stimulus check and your unemployment benefits. If you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the bell. Thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time, have a great day.